do us a favour, smash the subscribe button, give us a wee thumbs up. Let's grow this channel together. Much appreciated. Cheers.
Celtic, we are the best team in Glasgow, and we call it always Europe.
What's happening, Celtic family? I hope you're all doing well out there. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I made this video earlier on today. I was debating whether I was actually going to do another video because once it came to editing this video, it was all out of focus and I rabbited on for a good 45 minutes. So I was deciding, will I do this video again? I thought, fuck it, I'll do it again. And this time, I'll keep it a wee bit shorter. But it did end up yesterday, Celtic 5, Raith Rovers 0. On a pretty cold night at Celtic Park. I thought this weather's supposed to be getting better in February, and January was when you got the really bad weather, but my God, I couldn't feel my hands, couldn't feel my feet last night. If you were at the game, you probably felt the same. Either that, I'm just an absolute pussy. So listen, it was freezing, but what a great performance. Now, doing this video today means that I didn't get to do it last night when I got home because obviously I had to travel. It was a 5:30 kickoff. By the time I got home, I was too tired. And by the time I got it out, it would have been about midnight. So there was no point. So I thought I'll leave it till the next day, which is amazing for me because it actually gives me time to wake up the next morning and watch some other Celtic channels, because I'm not like these other people when they try and pretend that they don't watch other Celtic channels because they've got their own Celtic channel. I watch all of them. And why do I watch all of them? Because they're all fucking brilliant. So well done to every single one of you who have a Celtic channel and make Celtic content. You absolutely do a great job. I enjoyed watching it this morning because a lot of the time we're normally all making content round about the same time after a match or something like that. So you don't get to see anybody else's thoughts on the game until afterwards. So it was really good to sit down this morning and watch some of these channels and find out what they were saying. Now, a lot of them said that they were absolutely delighted with the performance throughout, from start to finish. I'm going to be a bit controversial. I thought the first half performance was too slow. I thought it was a bit slow. I thought we could have ran at the defence a wee bit more and played a wee bit more direct football instead of side to side, side to side. I'm not having a go at the Celtic performance as a whole because I thought the second half performance was so much better. But dare I say it, there was points in the first half where I just got a bit bored of the ball going side to side, side to side. I am not going to get into a massive debate on why that happens. We all know that. We've all heard Brendan Rodgers saying if it goes to the side or if it goes back, cheer them because they're just starting a new attack. I'm with you. I understand, I get it, and I know I understand the process and the thinking behind it. It's great, but there was a lot of times in that game, in the first half yesterday, I thought we just didn't need to do it. We just didn't need to do it. In fact, Liam Scales was stood with the ball, his foot on top of the ball at one point, just looking where to put it. Now, fair enough, you didn't have any Raith Rovers players pressing him or anything. They kind of stood back, so you had that time to do it. But I prefer Celtic when they play that one-touch football. Now, we've been seeing a lot of this one-touch football over the last few games, most of the season, but over the last few games, it's really came to the fore, where you could see how quick they are at breaking the lines and how quick the football is when they're taking one touch and passing it on, or not even taking a touch and just hitting it on the first time. It absolutely does make a difference, and it is an absolute joy to watch. I just thought in that first half, for me, this is just my personal opinion, I thought in that first half it was just a bit slow. But listen, take nothing away from Raith Rovers. I thought they defended, especially in the first half, really well. They made it difficult for Celtic to try and find a way through. Celtic were always going to find a way through. They were so dominant, and Celtic being Celtic and playing the way that they're playing now, Raith Rovers, everybody would have known that it was always going to come, it was always going to happen, and all they needed to do, or all they wanted to do, was try and keep the scoreline to a reasonable scoreline. And in the first half, I think they kind of done that. I think they stifled Celtic's attack as much as they could. They got in, they put loads of bodies in the way for anybody. Kuhn came in a few times, tried to hit it. Luke McCowan came in, tried to hit it, and they were all deflected. So, give nothing but respect to Raith Rovers for coming there. They had a game plan, but Celtic were always going to tire them out, and they were always going to find a way to start smashing in the goals. Listen, Daizen Maeda is just on an absolute other level right now. He really is, and it worries me. I'm not going to lie, it worries me, because we all know that there was already other clubs looking at him in January, and now there's definitely going to be even more looking at him. And if he keeps on playing, and I hope he does keep playing the way that he's playing, but if he keeps playing the way that he's playing, he's going to have some amount of clubs in the summer after him. And it does worry me, because Daizen Maeda has become a massive part of that team, and he is a special individual. Does Daizen Maeda have the best skill in the world? No. Does he have the best work rate in the world? 100%. 100%. And now he's scoring goals like it's going out of fashion, and not just silly wee goals. He's scoring absolute belters. Absolute belters. The guy is just on such good form right now. He is an absolute joy to watch. He really is. And if he goes in the summer, he'll have to go for a really, really good price. He will have to go, and the board will know that. I hope not. I hope he stays at least for another season. I hope we can actually watch that guy for another season, because believe it or not, he's only about 27, and that's him hitting his peak years, and it'd be nice to get another season of peak Daizen Maeda. But listen, we go into the second half. We're 2-0 up in the second half, and it doesn't take long for Luke McCowan to get the third in the back of the net. I thought Luke McCowan had a really good game yesterday as well. He was all over the pitch. And that midfield area, I am so comfortable, and I'm loving watching anybody who comes in that midfield area, because it doesn't matter who you put in there. Obviously, we changed things up yesterday with Cal McGregor, Luke McCowan and Paulo Bernardo in there. But it wouldn't matter who was in that starting 11 there. You know fine well that they're going to go and they're going to give a good performance, and they're all gelling in there. They've got every single one of them that are at the midfield have all got this great communication with each other, that when one goes, one hangs back. It's absolutely brilliant to watch. And what's so nice to watch is that everything has went through Callum McGregor. We've all known that. Everybody's known that Callum McGregor is the talisman. He kind of controls what goes on and dictates what goes on in a game. So a great performance from Luke McCowan. And hopefully with Paulo Bernardo, anybody who watches this, you all know that I'm a big fan of Paulo Bernardo. I think he's got a lot more to give. I think that when he was first here before on his loan spell, I think he showed exactly what he's all about. I think it's really, really difficult for him to really claim his position in the team because there's so many good players in there. And Rio Atati has definitely came on to a game. Anybody who has followed me on here from the start knows fine well that I used to say that I thought that Paulo Bernardo definitely deserved a start before Rio Atati. But going on most recent performances, you cannot deny that Rio Atati has been back on it. And it's so good to see, because even when I was saying about Paulo that he deserved to be in front of Rio, I always knew how good a player Rio was. He just wasn't having the best season. But to see him playing so well now, and just the way that he turns and his one-touch football, that's a guy, as I say, when we're playing that one-touch football, breaks the lines with one touch. It's an absolute joy to watch, and it's so good to see him back in form. Moving on to the fourth goal, I cannot remember for the life of me who got the fourth goal. It was either Daizen Maeda's goal or it was Yang's goal. It was one of the two. They were either the fourth or the fifth, other way around. I'm not sure. But let's just talk about Yang for a quick second. Now, I'm not going to gloat, but I said for a long time there's a player in there. Told you. There absolutely is a player in there. And I know what some people are getting at, that they just didn't think that he was quite Celtic material. And I get that. I can see that. But when he gives a performance like he gave yesterday, now I know I've seen on social media quite a lot of people are saying that they were more than impressed with Yang, and then people comment underneath it, well, it was only against Raith. Right, that's fair enough. It was only against Raith, and that's taken nothing away from Raith Rovers. But the thing was, I have seen over the last few games an improvement in Yang under Brendan Rodgers. The way that he's playing under Brendan, I think really, really suits him. And I'm not saying that he's a starter for Celtic. What I am saying is he is a great squad player to have in that team. He's one of he never comes before Jota and he never comes before Maeda, right? He just doesn't. Unless Yang can start making some massive changes and being more consistent, playing that kind of football on a consistent basis, then that's when it really does give Brendan a headache to who he's going to play out on that wing. But he doesn't come before anyone else. So right now he doesn't. So I totally understand what people are saying. I get it, right? But he was brilliant yesterday. Not only did he score, but his 2 assists and just his work rate, just his overall game. He was brilliant. So when we are quick enough to judge Yang, we should all be quick enough to praise Yang as well, because if it wasn't for Daizen Maeda having another screamer of a match, then for me, he was our man of the match. So overall, good performance. We're on to the next round. That's all that matters. The treble is well and truly on. So great performance, great individual performance. Great to see Sinisalo getting his debut, young Dane starting. Good to see Jeffrey Schlopp in there, and I thought Jeffrey actually had a really good game, although what I will say is you can tell that he likes to play in the middle of the park a wee bit more. He did go a bit wandering sometimes, and if you're doing that against a better team than Raith Rovers, you could be punished. But I do like that. I like the fact that he wants to drive forward and move forward, but at one point in time, he was right out on the fucking right-hand side, and I was wondering, what the fuck is he doing there? But no, I thought he looks good. He looks a bit of a presence, looks nice and strong, wants to carry the ball. So no, good performance by him as well. It was a good performance all round. It really was. And now we take on Bayern Munich on Wednesday night. Just keeping it short, we've got Bayern Munich on Wednesday night. We know what we've got to do. We know how difficult it's going to be. We are under no illusion. As I keep saying, some people on social media getting a bit defeatist already. We have to keep the faith. We dream as Celtic supporters, but we know that this is a very difficult team to play. But listen, I believe we can beat anyone at Celtic Park. And if Celtic are firing on all cylinders, like they have been in recent games, we will make it tough for Bayern Munich to come and feel like they can walk all over us, because they can't. They can't. We need big performances from the whole back line, from Alistair Johnston, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Austin Trusty and Greg Taylor, because this is going to be a busy, busy night for them. And it's going to be a busy, busy night for Kasper Schmeichel as well, because Bayern Munich are going to have a lot of the ball. We are used to having a lot of the ball domestically, but when it comes to Europe, we know that we almost have to take another approach. And it's good to see that Brendan does and has. He proved that against Atalanta when we went out there. He didn't play more direct. He played more a defensive game. And it worked for us. And we played well. We played really, really well. Defended really well and tried to hit Atalanta on the break. And we looked really good for it. We know that Bayern Munich coming to Celtic, and it's something that we're not really that used to, is sitting back and having to defend. But we know with Bayern Munich coming to Celtic, then we're probably going to have to do a lot of that and try and hit Bayern Munich off the break. But listen, we've got the players there to do it. Daizen Maeda, I know, is going to be a massive loss to us. He is, because, as I said, he is firing on all cylinders right now. So he is a massive loss. But listen, we've got plenty of players there that can go out there and make it extremely difficult for Bayern Munich. And we can make it a very, very uncomfortable night for them on the pitch, and us as supporters off the pitch, in the stands, in the terraces. We can make it a nightmare for them. But as I said, we're under no illusion on how hard this game is. But if we can try and salvage something from this game at home and go out there in the second leg at the Allianz Arena, then it gives us a bit of hope. And as I said, we're Celtic supporters. We like to dream. So listen, I totally believe that on Wednesday night, again, if Celtic turn up firing on all cylinders, we can get something from this game. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be amazing. But listen, guys, as I say normally, it's always good to hear your thoughts. So make sure you're putting in the comment section what you thought of the Raith Rovers game and what you think is going to happen midweek. But until then, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe out there, Celtic family. Hail, hail, and take it easy. Cheers.